Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys another company that reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and they were nice enough to send me some of their smart bulbs, a 360-degree camera, which we're going to talk about today, and a stationary camera that they sent me a couple months ago. I just haven't got around to reviewing it. So the company's called Nooie, N-O-O-I-E, and they're another one of the sellers you're going to find on Amazon selling smart home tech products. And there's so many companies nowadays selling this stuff, and you know, I've reviewed so much of it, I'm constantly getting requests to collaborate. So it's really great that I get my hands on this stuff. My parents do not allow cameras in their house, so I did put the Nooie cam on their porch last night. Even though technically that camera is an indoor camera, they have a huge covered porch that's really protected from the elements, so it's perfect to kind of keep an eye on their front door. And then I added a different camera that I got from eSmartLink, which is technically an indoor baby camera. I added that over the garage, kind of under the overhang where I just wanted to test it out. Technically, again, it's an indoor camera, but I have no use for it. So, like I said, I have so many cameras already hooked up in the house that, you know, it's hard for me to keep adding them. I just really, I run out of rooms, and there's a limit to which rooms we're going to put cameras in. You know, we're not putting them in the bathroom. We're, you know, I mean, I already got them in the garage. I got them downstairs, you know, so I got them outside. So when I get a camera, I do like to hook it up at least to test it out and share it with you guys. So what do I always say when it comes down to smart home tech? If you're going to create a smart home, and I kind of have a, I don't count in this whole equation, because when I started doing this, I started reviewing products on the channel. I never expect to get so many smart home products sent to me by different companies looking to you know, looking to work with me, and it's been fantastic. But with that being said, one thing I always say is that when you're going to build a smart home, it's very important. I would recommend really when you're going to build one is to really pick a brand and stick with that brand. And one thing, and the reason I say that is although a lot of devices, you know, when it comes to the smart assistants, the Google Homes and the Amazon Echoes, they do play well with all brands. So you still have the ability to use them as a switch for your smart home lights and smart plugs and switches. But when it comes to cameras, you're pretty much going to be viewing these on an app. Okay, or if it's something like a Zomato setup that has an NVR, you might hook it up to a monitor or a TV. You might view it on your desktop. For instance, in my case, I mainly view my security cameras on my app, on my phone app. Or if I'm at home, of course, I can, you know, if I'm waiting on, you know, food to be delivered and I'm laying in the bedroom, I can turn it on there. I have different scenarios or different areas of the house where I can view my security cameras. But what's really nice, and this is my point, is that if you're thinking about creating a smart home, you know, smart home setup where you're going to have security cameras, and let's say you're just deciding, hey, I want to have a, you know, cameras in indoor cameras. There's lots of different brands to choose, okay? And if you're going to do that, it's important, I think, to try to stick with a brand that you really like, the one that you're going to decide to say, hey, I'm going to commit to having this brand everywhere, at least inside my house. So because you don't want to have to keep opening up different apps. Now me, it's different because I have a lot of this stuff sent to me as part of a sponsorship deal, just like this video. So I get to test these things out and share them with you guys. And again, we're going to talk about today the company called Nooie. Now I have used a lot of smart home tech products with the Smart Life app. It seems to be the app that's compatible with most of the smart home tech devices you're going to find on eBay and Amazon, no matter what brand. But there are companies that really have their own app. Now I haven't tested this out yet and set it up trying to set it up with the Smart Life app. I use their app, their Nooie app, specifically to set these cameras up. I'm not sure if it's compatible with Smart Life. So, but when I do review the lights, make sure you check out that particular video where I review their smart lights or their other camera, and I'll let you guys know whether I was able to connect this with Smart Life or not. For now, I did use a Nooie app, and I have to tell you, of a lot of the apps that I've used, it's a very nice app. It's very user-friendly. It's cosmetically, it's nice looking, and very easy to set up the camera. So let's talk about the camera today that I want to share with you guys. And this is it right here. This is the Nooie 360-degree baby cam. And again, you don't have to necessarily use this as a baby cam. You can use this for just a home security camera. This is very similar to the Zomato pan tilt camera that I have downstairs, but a lot nicer looking and a lot more, I would say, not quite as noticeable. It's definitely smaller. The Zomato cam is quite a bit larger, although it is an older device. This one here, they've done a really nice job in cosmetically making it look nice. The power cord is actually at a right angle, so this kind of sits nice and flush sort of flush in the back of the camera. There is a removable base plate here, so if you want to mount this upside down on a ceiling, or you want to mount this, you know, wherever you may want to mount it, you can do so. And there's a rubberized bottom here. If you don't want to mount that, it's going to have a nice grip on whatever surface you put it on. I don't want to lose this, so I'm just going to leave this attached, and I just leave it right there. It's not going to slip anywhere, although it doesn't have any kind of non-stick coating. I mean, it's, you know, unless you get a tremor, we're not going to have any kind of issues. I like the fact it's very similar to what a Google Home looks like. Definitely nicer looking than a lot of the other pan tilt cameras I've seen out there. I give them kudos for their design aspect on this. They really knocked it out of the park with how nice this thing looks. I think they definitely kind of copied that Google Home look. It looks modern, it looks nice, it looks almost like it could be an Apple product, which they always take a lot of pride in how they, the cosmetics of their devices. When you compare to some other pan tilt cameras I have, again, like my Zomato camera, actually all the Zomato cameras that they've created really aren't really all that nice looking. I mean, they're larger. I mean, my Zomato pan tilt downstairs is quite a bit larger than this. Again, I don't mind it. I have it on my wine bar, but this is nicer looking, so definitely check it out there. You have your Nooie logo, very discreetly placed on the back. Not a lot of heavy branding on this. You do have a built-in speaker, a status light which will tell you whether you're connected, updating firmware, or if you have any kind of issues, and that's really about it. There is no SD slot that I can see on this device, which is kind of surprising because their standard Easy Cam, I'll call it, does have one. Now, unless I'm missing something, I don't seem to see one on this camera at all. They do offer a cloud service, but you do have to pay for that. So if you're looking to get any kind of alerts, the only thing this doesn't do, you don't have any kind of cloud alerts. So let me put this down for a second and just show you. Where's my phone? There it is. So on their Nooie app, and I just want to show you, it's very similar to if you haven't seen the Wise app, which is a very affordable smart home camera set up by, I believe, somebody who used to work at Amazon. I have them, I reviewed them, they work really well. This is really very similar in how those work. I've had other cameras like Zomato. Zomato I have not been sponsored by, so a lot of those I got when I first started adding cameras to the house and getting involved in smart home tech. Zomato, you know, it works, but their support really bad. I recommend, if you do have Zomato, use their smart chat app online or through their app because their instructions are really terrible. And unfortunately, that's kind of the problem you have with a lot of these companies that are what I would consider micro brands or off brands that you're not going to find in like your big box Best Buy stores and stuff like that. The support sometimes it kind of sucks. This one here is really easy to set up, and what you do is basically on the app here you can see you have your cameras, which will be set up you know, depending on how many you have. I have two. One of these at my parents' house, that's the Easy Cam. And this one here I've hooked up over here at my desk right now. If we go ahead and just press that button, you'll see Office will pop up. And you can see it's pointing at the wall. If you want to turn the camera, of course, you'll just drag your finger and hold. And that'll actually turn the camera, as you can see. I do have microphone on right now, or speaker on, so I'm going to turn that off. I would demonstrate the, this does have two-way audio. Unfortunately, my phone, the speakerphone isn't working. So all my cameras, if I want to talk through them, until I get a new phone or maybe reformat this or get this fixed, I don't know, this is like the second LG phone I've had where the speakerphones just stopped working. So if you guys have any information on that, let me know. I've Googled it. I haven't tried resetting the phone yet. But anyway, speed is really fast on this. There's a slight delay, but it's not bad as compared to other cameras that I've reviewed. It's very simple in function. You do have, again, you have your, on the app, I'll try to show you guys here, you have your audio, so you can hear the two-way audio. If your phone did work, you would have the two-way audio where if you speak into the phone, they'll hear you. You can take video footage and still images, but there is no cloud backup. So it will detect motion. It does have built-in infrared, but if it detects motion and you don't go to the app and click the button and actually view it live, you're not, without paying for the cloud service, you're not going to get any kind of alerts. Which is unfortunate because other brands out there like Wisecam, they do give you alerts and they do give 12-second clips. This one, hopefully that's something maybe they'll change down the road. But right now, if you want to subscribe to the cloud service, you are looking at a price point of 30 days, $19, 15 days, $10, and 7-day playback, $5. And it says here, with Nooie Cloud subscription, you can go back in time and see what you've missed. You'll have 24-hour recording, view events daily, and privacy with encrypted and secure data. If you want to pay for the year, it's $188 for 30 days playback on the year. 15 days is $99, and $55 will get you 12 months of 7-day playback. So not too bad as far as price points, but it's unfortunate that there isn't any kind of real live clips, whereas pretty much every other camera that I reviewed, well, not everyone, but a lot of the cameras that I have reviewed by Reolink, Zomato, Wise, which is a really affordable camera, they do have 7-day, or I believe it's 7 days, 12-second clips. So that's pretty nice. As far as features are concerned, you have audio recording, you have your status light that you can turn on or off in front of the camera there, which looks like we have the camera turned. So right now it's white, it's connected to the internet, it's going to show just a bright white. You can turn your night vision on or off, synchronized time, motion detection, which you can set to on or off. You can't set the sensitivity, unfortunately. Sound detection is either on or off, and you can share the camera. And it says here no SD card, but for the life of me, I don't see anywhere where you can put an SD card in this. And I'm on their Amazon listing right now. It says it supports micro SD card or cloud storage, but for the life of me, unless I'm missing something, and I'll have to go back into the manual and take a look, unless this separates, I don't see anywhere where you can put a media card in this thing. So that's kind of odd. So I mean, obviously you can see if I pop that plate off, there's nothing underneath there, nowhere to put a media card at all. You just have your power on the back there, and unless you have nothing in the front of the cam either, and I don't want to tug on this, this is motorized, so not really sure there. I'll definitely double check, and if I do find that there is an SD slot on this thing, I will put an update and pin the comment on the listing. But overall though, it's a pretty nice camera if you're looking to not really be able to, if you're not concerned with being able to store footage or store clips and just be able to view it live. This is a great camera. I mean, it looks good. It's not going to be something that's going to stand out in the room, and the price point on it's not too bad. You're looking at, if you get it through Amazon, $50 with free 1-day shipping with Prime and free returns. So that's in line with what pan-tilt cameras cost. Again, there are other cameras out there, in my opinion, that that do give you a little bit more bang for your buck, but I think it's a pretty nice camera. It's definitely in line with what Zomato charges and many other companies, and it looks good, and the app is easy to use, and it functions really well. A little more about the specifics. It is high definition with super IR night vision. It says it has a high quality sensor and 1080p HD camera lens, two 940, I believe it's nanometer infrared LED lights, night vision up to 32 feet, which is pretty standard from most of the cameras I reviewed. Motion tracking in the app, which I didn't actually see that in there, but I might have missed it. Let's see here, motion tracking. Okay, so you turn on motion tracking, and what this will do is actually, when it detects motion, is follow that image. I have used it on other competitor cameras. Outside, it doesn't really work all that well, but inside, you know, if you have an area where there's no like wind or sunlight to fool the camera, this would probably work pretty well. If you have a pet or whatnot, it'll follow the pet around, which is pretty cool. Again, motion and sound detection, check in your home 24/7 with live streaming footage. It does say it sends real-time notifications to your phone when motion or sound is detected. It does, but you'll have to actually click that, go to the app, and view it. You're not going to get a clip. So if you can't get to your phone immediately, you're not really going to know what triggered that motion or sound. Two-way audio and secure data storage. Continues recording or motion detecting recording. Again, there's always a little bit of language barrier here. When available, and it says supports microSD or Nooie cloud storage. So I will definitely have to find out. Again, I will pin a comment if this thing does have an SD slot or not. They have it listed here on Amazon, but sometimes these listings, you know, mistakes do happen. So that's really about it. I mean, pretty straightforward. I think, again, it's a nice looking device. I feel like it works really well. I am impressed with the app as compared to some of the other ones that I reviewed. Just a few names on here. I've reviewed, again, Zomato, Wisecam, Who else do I use here? Equus, Reolink, HugoCam, eSmartCam, and I will say that this app is closest to what you're going to get from the WiseCam, which is a very nice app. Those cameras work pretty well. This one here, pretty quick to, when you go ahead and click the button, pretty quick to actually pull that live footage. Sometimes some Zomato cameras take a little while to actually be able to view the footage. I guess that's depending on your network. Faster network, the better. I recently just revamped my whole network. You haven't checked out my video that will be released this week, showing you guys exactly what I did. I did separate modem, separate Asus AC3200 router, and then I did a separate two meshing Ubiquiti access points. Network's definitely running a lot better. Had my CenturyLink come in and fix my DSL. I guess there was a problem with my lines. They were able to fix the whatever. I guess there were some extra lines in the walls that they disconnected. So my internet, I'm running about 65 megabits a second. That's the fast I can get where I live, unless I go with like Xfinity, which I don't want to do because CenturyLink is price locked for life, pretty affordable, and I've been pretty happy with them. So everything runs pretty well. Again, I'm running over, I think, like 15 different security cameras, and although things aren't perfect, the more things you have on your network, and this is a whole different discussion, but just drop a comment. I can definitely help you. Check out my other videos I've done on networking. I've seen a few guys do reviews with residential grade routers, and I'm like 3-in-1s, like modem, router, access points all in one, kind of, I'm sorry, router access points all in one, just like my AC3200. And this guy said he had like 200 devices. I call bullshit on that. There's no way a residential grade router is going to support up to 200 smart home devices. My Asus was one of the top of the line routers, and that thing started having connection issues at like 30 devices. So if you haven't checked out Ubiquiti, a little harder to set up. Definitely something to consider if you are building a smart home and adding a lot of tech to your house. So that's been it, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to drop a comment or send me an email. Once again, Nooie 360 camera. Use it as a baby cam, security cam. Discreet, small, doesn't even look like a cam. I've seen someone who had a little big bubble on top. They just look like a big, like a webcam on steroids, which I don't think looks all that nice. I am pretty big about cosmetics, and I think this one, they knocked it out of the park with the design, and the fact that you can actually mount this to, I believe you can mount that to a ceiling. Before I give you guys a bump steer here, I just want to make sure that you can rotate the image. Let me double check that. So you can, yes, you can rotate the image. Let me see what it did here. Yeah, so you can flip it vertically. So if you want to side mount it, you don't have the ability to go horizontal, but you have the ability to ceiling mount this, which I think, not sure where I might put this yet. I very well may ceiling mount this somewhere in my house because it is so discreet. It is very nice looking. It's not something that's going to stand out like some of the other cameras that, like the bullet cams. I mean, just to give you guys an example, well, I don't have, so much for that. I don't have one. I thought I had the other one I got unboxed, but I don't. So anyway, guys, real nonchalant, real informal video there. As always, I always keep it real and honest. Again, if you are in the market for a baby cam or a smart cam, this one, again, nice looking, cosmetic, runs fast, 1080p resolution. I tested the night vision earlier. Great night vision, which is to be expected from any of these cams. It's pretty much the same across the board when you're dealing with a couple LEDs. Outside, 2 LEDs. Probably not going to have 32 feet, isn't going to do much outside. I mean, you will get some night vision, but if you are going to add a camera to the outdoors, I do recommend you using outdoor cameras, although you can use this outdoor depending on how much surrounding light you have. You'll definitely get some night vision, but it's like, for instance, when I compare some of my Zomato cams that have about 8 LED infrared lights compared to my eSmartLink that's upstairs in my parents' house under the overhang there, which only has 2, it doesn't really illuminate the driveway all that well. So kind of keep that in mind. Take the night vision with a grain of salt. It really depends on where you'll be mounting it and the distance. But for inside purposes, this will be completely fine. This will work perfect. So again, if I can help you in any way, definitely drop me a comment, send me an email. I know I'm repeating myself, but yeah, I love to talk. So, and I want to thank Nooie for their generosity again and sending me a great product to review. And that's about it, guys. You have a wonderful evening and take care.